I got one now. Coach, Phil just asked if y'all are the bullies now. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, he's wearing a Yankee hat. So. Now, I think that people, around college baseball and fans, they kind of understand, especially the fans in Omaha. They understand the teams, and we're not even big enough to be bullies, and we don't win that way. We try to find a way to win. The bullies, they just spank you and send you on your way. So we don't fit into that category, but certainly just an incredible deal for us to be able to go back to Omaha back-to-back years, having experienced a lot of things we had to go through this year.
At what point, I'm over here, at what point this season did you really see that this team had something to them, that despite all the things that were going on, that it was a kind of a team that could win 50 games and get back?
Well, you have different times maybe that you try to draw from. I really felt like the Sunday win at Florida when Colby came in and shut the door. Brian Harper got to start, and he came in and kind of shut the door in the middle. We won a 4-3 game. I'm not sure that we were the best team that day or even now, but we found a way to win. Our bullpen was back this year. We had Matt, we had John Taylor, we had Mata. We used Brian Harper down there for part of the season, Tyler Webb. The key was if we could do anything up front. We had to go with Michael because we felt like he was the experienced guy, not knowing he was going to give us the kind of year that he gave us. That being said, we had to find guys to pitch 2 and 3 and 4. And, we started out with Webb, Westmoreland, Neff. They did a good job for a while. Then they had some issues with some soreness, and Colby comes in and Kumas comes in, and we kind of hang in there. And so I started thinking, well, if these guys can give us 4, 5, 6 innings, we still got the bullpen. And we can win some games that way if we play D and get some timely hits. So I kept thinking that, we weren't going to be awesome, but we might win some close games. But it's, as you well know, we try to find a way to win. We can't just go out there and smack you around and hit, 3 2-run homers or anything like Westlake did last night for the Commodores. That doesn't happen to us too much. But these guys battled. I can't say enough good things about Robert Berry, Stephen Neff, Jake Williams, Evan Marzilli. We had to change our lineup. We're in a major college baseball program, and I have to tell a guy that hasn't swung the bat in 3 years that, hey, you're going to be in the batting practice group tomorrow, and we're going to have to play you, Stephen Neff, and it'll take you a few days and get the rust off, and let's go. And he's been outstanding for us. Played good defense. Jake has. Marzilli played center. Barry stepped in for us behind the plate when Brady's been banged up. It's hard to find enough guys to do that, and they did it. That was just an incredible group for me to be able to. Those guys just kept grinding and thinking that this is going to work. I'm not Jackie Bradley in center field, or I'm not an Adam Matthews type talent, but we're going to find a way to get it done, and they survived and they contributed to help us win.
Ray, I know you're looking forward, but I'm going to ask you to look backward for just a second. With the way the game has changed, not to mention the defensive changes that your team had to make up the middle, and losing your 1 and 2 starters, where does this kind of stack up as one of your coaching years? I mean, as you look back on it, it must have been very challenging.
Well, it's challenging, but players win games. I don't go between the lines, and if you can find the right group of players and the character, and you got enough of them, you got a chance. And that's, I believe in that very strongly. Do you have enough players? Do you have enough ball players in our game? And when you run a guy like Wingo out there, and Brady Thomas and Walker, so many guys that have been there before, and you give yourself a chance. Like the ESPN color guy, Paul LaDuca, he told me afterwards, I'm a Scott Wingo fan. I said, well, join the contingent. There's a lot of Scott Wingo fans, and that's you got a chance. You got a chance when you got makeup guys.
You see,
Ray, when Christian stepped to the plate in the 8th, kind of harkening back to last year, did that cross your mind at all, saying this is where he came up big last year?
No, it didn't. I was more concerned about trying to get him on base there, and And I told him, I said, you got to be aggressive. You got to take some shots here. They threw you a changeup. They got him inside with the fastball in his first at bat, and I said, you're going to see another changeup. And I said, put a good swing on it. If you pull it, you got a chance. You're not going to hit it out in the middle of the field right now. And I thought it actually was a pretty good pitch. I'd have to go back and look at the tape. It didn't look like a real hitter's pitch, at least from where I was sitting, and he was able to hit it pretty good. It looked like it was going off the top of the wall, but he got it out. He's Christian Walker's as good as it gets at our level. He's he's a guy that he's a guy that other people come after. And when we had some injuries, we didn't give him a lot of protection, but he's been very steady for us.
Coach, I know you talked a lot, even a couple of days ago, about how hard it is to get to the World Series, and this is 5 trips now in 10 years. I mean, is that even a mind, kind of an eye-popping stat for you, so 5 in 10 years, considering how hard it is to get there?
I don't know if that stat's correct. That sounds a little bit too much for me, but I'm just delighted to be a part of it. I say this all the time, and it is true. I don't look too far ahead, or I don't look behind. I try to do what we got to do today and be ready to go and do the best you can. I know that when I came here 15 years ago, this was a program about tradition and history and great people, and Bobby Richardson and June Raines, and a sport that had been successful at this university, and it was my challenge at that point to try to continue that. And we've been very fortunate that we've had some opportunities to get out to Omaha, and then we had the great run last year. So it's very special. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
You talk about how, I guess you say all the time, go out and win anyway. It seems like this team has really kind of adopted that. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, one of the things you can do as a coach is you can make points from time to time, and I try to do that. I try, especially at practice, I will criticize players relentlessly because I think you have to learn from that, and you have to be tough-minded, you have to be a competitor, you have to have tough skin. But beyond that, you try to find a way to survive, and you can't worry about things that happen. You make errors, bloops fall, great plays get made against you. You just continue, and you try to grind it out, and you try to feel good about what you're doing, and we always talk about find a way, win anyway, and overcome adversity you're going to have. And as I said, when you get enough guys, when you get enough players to buy into that, it gives you a chance. It's not a guarantee. I mean, you can be the greatest coach in the world, which I'm not, but if you don't have the right players, it's still a challenge. And that's all you're trying to do is, grind it out. Give your best shot for 9 innings, and then feel good about what you did, win or lose. And we got a lot of players that, I don't know that they'll have great careers in baseball, but they do it the right way.
Ray, take us through that 5th, 6th, and 7th inning where you get the double plays and able to just keep the game close at that point.
I can't take you through it. We just kept trying to mix and match and get pitches and make pitches and put a guy out there that's gotten some ground balls and try to hope that our guys in the middle get a chance to touch it and handle it. And it worked out. We had a couple of balls hit that we could turn. One we didn't turn where Springer was able to beat it out to first when Mooney couldn't get it out. But yeah, it's part of the game. You got to give our guys credit for being able to make pitches and make plays at the right time. You look at the score 8-2, and a lot of people will think, well, the Gamecocks had a pretty good game tonight. Well, as you know, it was a very difficult game for us. We seemed like we played uphill the whole night. Even when we got to 3-2, and Springer makes that catch off Neff's bat, miraculous. And when you make plays like that, that changes and generates momentum the other way. And fortunately, we were able to get some runs there, but. We just were able to do enough good things there with our pitchers, and our guys, Mata, Webb, Taylor, Price, they understand their role, and they try to perform and do what they can while they're there to give our team a chance, and they've been outstanding.
It seemed like Colby was really struggling to get his breaking stuff over and missing with that slider. Was there any thought of going ahead and maybe pulling him for a Neff or a long time reliever maybe earlier than you?
Well, Mata was a long guy just because they had 7 righties in there and maybe getting some ground balls with his sinker. I didn't, I'm not used to that dugout over there, so I have a hard time understanding exactly what's going on with our pitchers as much as I do in the other dugout. And I thought Colby had pretty good life on his fastball. He was close enough with his breaking ball. He was getting some swings, but then I guess what inning they got the second inning where we had 2 outs, nobody on, and a flurry. 2 runs in a jiffy there, and they got some good swings at him. And then he settled down. I think he got 7 or 8 in a row after that point. But they continued to hit a few balls hard, and that's where we get to the 4th or 5th. We say this is where we go with our matchup guys down there and try to hang in there.
Back to the double plays. When that was happening, what were you saying to the guys in the dugout? And did you kind of, harken back to the things that had happened before and say, this is kind of the way we've won all year is, maybe we weren't getting outplayed, but we're still in the game?
I don't say too much over there, but I hear the guys talking, and when it gets real, when we get into those tight situations, I hear the conversation. This is the way we do it. We don't run away from anybody. We have to win some close games, make a few plays, and maybe roll a double play in there. And I hear that kind of dialogue. This is how we do it, and they're fairly comfortable in those situations. They don't always work out the right way, but we've been there quite a bit.
Anything else for Coach Dan? All right, thanks,
Thank
Dan.
you all very much. Appreciate the coverage and our people here at the university and the athletic department, our NCAA reps. Outstanding. I told Brady after the game, I said, Brady, I just want to know what it feels like to be at the plate and everybody's chanting Brady, Tom. I'd like to hear that one time. Of course, I don't want to be at the plate, but that's outstanding.